Number 1, kids toys. Number 2, new clothing for kids. Number 3, baby gear. Number 4, games. Number 5, books for kids. Number 6, those art kits that are like all pre-packaged. Let's see, I'm trying to get through all the kids stuff. Oh, printed sheets that have characters on them. Birthday gifts for our kids. I thought we should just start out with the most controversial ones. So I figured kids stuff was a good place to start. Our family has lived as minimalist for about 6 years now, and so today I want to share with you 50 things that we no longer buy. However, most of them aren't because we live as minimalist or we live really simply. We actually got rid of most of these things when we were on the journey to becoming debt-free. So really our main reason behind stopping buying most of these things was money. The second was this idea of inventory and not having so much stuff to manage. And then the third has become because it's better for the earth. So I shared with you a few of our things for kids that we don't buy anymore. And the main motivation with not buying brand new kid stuff is that there is so much out there already. And so we don't buy any kind of toys for our kids, not new toys, not used toys, because they get plenty as gifts. And what I've come to learn about toys and kids is that marketing tells us that kids need these new flashy toys to make them happy and to keep them occupied. But science tells us that kids just need to play and use their imagination. And actually, the fewer toys they have, the more creative are, the longer they play, and the better they play with others. So I'll link to some articles about that down below. But all of these decisions, I didn't just say, oh, I'm a minimalist, I'm not gonna buy this stuff. There was a lot of thought that went into it. So similar to kids' toys, new kids' clothing, we do not buy because there is so much used clothing out there. But they also still get new stuff from family members for Christmas. So their wardrobes still look current. I've never felt like our kids look, I don't know, dumpy. Like they still have cute clothes, but I save so much money. We also don't buy like these printed sheets when they're gender specific or for a certain age range because they're just not versatile enough, right? I want stuff that will stand the test of time, that anyone in our house can use. These kind of age out, time out. And so if they're given to us as a gift, of course we keep it, but I do not buy these, I buy these. And along those same lines is baby gear. Whenever we've needed anything for our babies, I like to ask friends and family first, and then could Facebook Marketplace make it any easier to get stuff for babies? I read one time that there's 11 times as much baby gear on our planet as there is babies. So we have too much, and I think it's awesome if we can use up what we have first before we keep buying new stuff. We also don't buy birthday gifts for our kids, so their birthday party is their gift, and we also have a tradition where they get to make their own cake and decorate it themselves, and they love it. They'll talk about all year how they're gonna decorate their cake and all the different ideas that they have. So that's been a fun tradition, and they still get gifts from other family members, so they still get gifts. All right, so before we move on to the kitchen and the bathroom, a couple other things that I don't buy in here. I don't buy much for seasonal decor anymore. I did grab this pumpkin from the Target dollar spot for $3, but other than that, I just try to make do with what we have. We don't have a lot of spaces anymore that we decorate, and so that has made a big difference. But this was another thing we cut out when we were trying to save money. I also do not buy storage furniture anymore, and that probably doesn't surprise you, but if anything, I try to get rid of storage furniture because it just tends to accumulate stuff. And again, this goes back to that idea of inventory and how much stuff do we want to manage. For me, our house functions best and I can stay on top of it the best when we don't have a lot of stuff. And we no longer buy those plug-in air fresheners or even scented candles. So again, marketing tells us it makes our house smell so good. Science tells us those chemicals in it and those artificial scents really aren't good for our bodies. And I do still like to burn a scented candle once in a while, but normally I get enough for gifts so I don't have to buy them myself. All right, so on to the kitchen. So this is actually one of the few places that I decorate, and our house definitely feels more spacious now that we don't have as much decor or those extra pieces of furniture in it. Also, when it comes to food and the kitchen, so even during uncertain times like right now, I don't like to stock up on a lot of food because it's just more to manage and we waste it. Whenever we have too much food, it just gets wasted. And so we don't want to be foolish. We have an extra freezer in the basement that has extra meat in it and some extra canned goods. But you definitely have to do what you're comfortable with. Along those same lines, I do not like buying bulk or big packages of things. Again, it's just more stuff that we have to manage. I find that our budget is used the best when we grocery shop every week and get just the stuff we need for that week and no more. And I know that's not for everyone, but for us, that's been how we make the best use of our grocery budget each week. We also really try to stay away from prepackaged snacks or anything that's individualized. We also, of course, don't buy plastic water bottles. I mean, if we're traveling, like when we're camping, we bought some when we just weren't sure of the water and we haven't figured out a good water filtration system in there yet. But when we're home, I really like these. So honestly, I never thought I'd be a person drinking out of mason jars, but I got so tired of these types of water bottles. These are the worst, right? But these lids that go on mason jars are super cool, really easy to clean. The kids use them, we use them. And I like getting these kind of mid-size jars that have the straight size. They're 24-ounce jars. They fit in cup holders and they're easy to hold on to if you don't have huge hands. So I like this. We also have some like this with the lid and straw, and it works awesome. Tom was worried about the kids like walking around with mason jars, but they're really durable. We haven't broke any yet. I mean, we try not to let them take them outside, but they still do. They'll roll out of the car and they don't break. So I don't know, knock on wood, so far we haven't broken any jars, but worst case, I mean, as long as no one gets hurt, they're inexpensive to replace. I also really try to stay away from food that's on sale or on special. I've really found for myself that foods that I don't cook with on a regular basis, they just get pushed to the back of the cupboard, the back of the freezer, the back of the fridge, and a lot of times I end up throwing them away because they've expired. And at the end of the day, I don't want to cook new foods. It doesn't matter if it was on sale or not, I don't want to cook it. And so that has made a big difference for us. I don't want this to be like I'm scolding or like, this is the right way and this is the wrong way. That is not my heart behind this at all. I just feel like sometimes these things, it just seems like the things we should buy, right? And then we don't ever stop to think like, oh wait, should we still do that? So, and this is just what works for us. So you're free to, you buy whatever you want to buy, right? All right, and then cleaners. So I try to buy just multi-purpose cleaners, and not lots of them, or like, you know, I don't know, you go to the cleaning aisle and you can just get all kinds of stuff. This is my favorite like grease spray. This I wouldn't need. This is just an all-purpose cleaner that I'll like spray down the counters with. But I do like that it smells good and that makes me happy. But otherwise, I always just have a bottle with vinegar and water. And then this is my go-to shower and sink cleaner. Anything that gets like scaly lime buildup, it's the Dawn dish soap and vinegar solution. And so I can link to that down below. So we literally clean our whole house with these 4 cleaners. Bathrooms, kitchen, any room in the house, this is what we use. And I can just go down the cleaning aisle at Target now with blinders on because I don't feel a need to try anything new because these all work really well. So I would probably say that clothing is the area where I've made the biggest changes, and really just deciding that I deserve to wear clothes that I feel good in, no matter what size, how good a shape or not good a shape I'm in, that I should always have at least a few outfits. And what I found for myself is that usually these things do not come from the clearance rack. They don't usually come from Amazon, and that I don't necessarily have to spend a lot of money on them, but I do need to try them on, and when I try it on, it needs to fit right. I need to not be adjusting it. I need to not have to make any alterations or suck in or any of that. I don't need a huge wardrobe. That's what's so cool. When everything in our closet fits and we feel good and we like wearing it, we don't need a huge wardrobe. And so that's been a huge mindset shift, because in the past I had tons of clothes and nothing to wear. And then for any of us that live where there's distinct seasons, where you fully experience all 4 seasons, you know that it's really easy to accumulate outerwear. And so for me, I keep a mid-weight winter jacket, because if it's super cold out, we don't go outside. But if I'm walking, I need something that's not too heavy so I don't get like super sweaty, and it's comfortable that when you get in the car, then you're not too hot, or if you have to run inside. And then one vest. And so this is great for layering. Same with boots. I just try to have one pair that's versatile, that I could wear to church, or I could wear running errands, because again, you could have lots of different options. But for me, I kind of like that I just know what I'm wearing. Like if I look in the closet, I'm just grabbing one coat. Like there's not other options, and I actually really like that a lot. Okay, so shoes, handbags, accessories. So when it comes to shoes, For every season, I just like to have 3. I have to take one, I'm wearing one of them right now. So for every season, I have, these are my summer, so I have my just everyday wear around, something that's dressy but neutral, and then I have something that I can walk in. And then when it comes to purses and handbags, I just have this leather tote. I actually got this at Walmart 2 years ago and it's been holding up really well and I really like it. And then I had gotten this wallet and it matches. I did not even plan it. But mostly probably the biggest difference is that I just don't go shopping for a hobby or for something to do. Both Diana and I have agreed, like, we just don't do that anymore. And that's definitely helped a lot with impulse purchases when it comes to clothes. Okay, moving on to the laundry room, we don't buy extra linens. I have 1 set for each bed. I know sometimes the question comes up like, what if you have a stomach bug? You know, you always kind of want to wash it right away if that happens. So we'll put a towel down or a blanket under the person, get the sheets through the wash and then put them back on. So it's truly never been a problem. I also don't buy dryer sheets anymore, but I don't really like dryer balls because I hate having to like hunt for them in the dryer. And so I heard this tip that usually static is caused by over drying our clothes. So most often you don't actually need anything. But if I am gonna dry something like fleece or nylon that I just know is gonna be staticky, I'll throw these in. But the chemicals in these, once you learn about it, you can't unlearn it, right? It's really not good for us. It's not good for our clothing either. So, and then we also don't buy fabric softener. I'll put vinegar in the rinse spot. And then we use Molly's Suds for detergent. I don't try lots of stain removers. These things work well enough so I don't feel the need to try new things or to accumulate more stuff. I just try to, again, put the blinders on. So at the risk of sounding like a broken record, I think what I've really found is that I just find stuff that works well enough and try not to always be searching for something that works better. So this especially applies to buying extra hair products and makeup products. My hair is what it is, right? Like, I mean, it would be great if there was some magic product that would just give me so much volume and I'd never have to do anything else to my hair, but there's just not, right? And so I'm not gonna try anymore and keep wasting money. I hate wasting money on hair products. But you know what's cool about that is when you stick to the same makeup and hair products, you actually learn how to use them better over time, and I feel like you kind of get the hang of them. So I'm actually really happy with all of my hair and makeup products right now. So I think that's been a nice side benefit of not buying more and more, is that you figure them out and they actually work pretty well and then you're happy with them. So that's been kind of cool. Accessories, I really try to keep them neutral. You probably saw me wear, whoops, they're backwards, these earrings for quite a while. Even though these have like the gold or the yellow on them, they're still fairly neutral, I feel like, and so they go with a lot of stuff. I have this one nail polish that I use for my feet, and that's it. And so if this would run out, like I would maybe buy another one or ask for one, but otherwise I don't try to have like a variety or a bunch of different shades. I don't think that many people pay attention to my toes, and here in Minnesota sandal season is kind of short anyways, so I've had this for like 2 years and it works great. And then I also try to stay away from like the scented bath bombs and shower gels and body sprays. Again, just the stuff with the artificial scents in it, just because I know it's actually not good for us to be breathing in. But I do like to take a bath and just put in like some Epsom salts and a little apple cider vinegar to make like a detox bath. And I don't know, it makes it feel like a fancy treatment, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. We've also stopped buying wedding gifts. We'll just get a gift card to wherever they're registered. Basically because, I mean, even though we got married 12 years ago, we really appreciated the gift cards and cash gifts when we were first getting started, and so we kind of figure that others appreciate the same. We also don't buy a gym membership, which is probably self-explanatory, but along those lines, we also don't buy workout clothes, workout shoes, workout equipment, or weights or anything until we have proven to ourselves that we have a track record of getting our steps in. So something to track your steps is awesome, even if it's an app on your phone or an old-fashioned pedometer. And so Tom and I have both made the commitment that once we are consistent at walking or running on our own consistently, and then doing body weight exercises, then we would reward ourselves with like workout clothes or a nice pair of tennis shoes or getting some exercise equipment. Guess how much exercise equipment we bought. We also don't pay for family photos, and this was something that we cut out again when we were trying to get out of debt and haven't gone back to. And so I think so I love photographers, right? We have friends that are family photographers, but we just feel like it's gotten a little out of control with like having a photographer for in the hospital, and then newborn pictures and first birthday and all of these different things, and then yearly family photos. And so you do you, but for us, we feel like because cell phones have gotten so good, we're able to capture pictures all of the time, that we try to only do like a formal family photo every 4 or 5 years. And so far that's worked out well for us. All right, a few more things. I don't get any subscription boxes. I've signed up for a few, but inevitably you end up, like, there'll be a couple really good things in it, and then you end up with stuff that you don't need, don't use, can't think of someone to gift it to. So no subscription boxes, no meal boxes. I love the concept and the idea, but I can't get over how much packaging goes into it. It just seems so wasteful. So I haven't been able to bring myself to do the subscription meal kits. Notebooks, journals, planners, like I think all of us have enough for a lifetime. Movies, like does anybody buy movies anymore? I don't know, that's probably a no-brainer. Magazines, I felt like they made me want to buy stuff or do different projects to our house or change stuff. It caused me to feel dissatisfied with my life or our house, and so I found that it wasn't actually good. Like, I didn't find it helpful reading magazines. Books, I just get them on my Kindle app. I know people are like, oh, but you gotta hold a paper book or I can't get over it. I would have thought I was the same way in the past, and then I started using my Kindle app faithfully and I don't miss them. I don't know. So I just like, again, not having to manage them. And so if books are your thing and you enjoy keeping them and organizing them and dusting them and having them, that's awesome. For me, I don't care to manage them. Souvenirs, whenever we travel now, we try to just take lots of pictures. If the kids want to bring their own money and buy something, they can do that. Like, that's totally up to them. But Tom and I don't, and we don't encourage the kids to buy souvenirs. And then the last thing that we don't buy anymore is stuff we can't afford. Yeah. Getting out of debt is a lot of work, but man, it is just so worthwhile. And so while we were on that journey, there were so many things we had to say no to, but it was good because it retrains your brain and it makes you realize all of the stuff you can live without, all of the stuff you bought that didn't live up to what it said it was gonna do. I mean, how much stuff gets so hyped up, like it's gonna be so awesome, and then it's not actually that great, right? It gets pushed to the back of the cupboard or the closet. We regret buying it. And so that's really what fueled a lot of these decisions, was just trying to save money and just cut out any excess that we could possibly think of so we could get out of debt quicker. And so through that process, it has made not buying these things super easy. And then of course, living a simplified lifestyle and realizing like, hey, I don't like managing so much stuff. That's probably been the other biggest thing that has made it really easy not to want to rebuy these things or to feel like we're missing out on anything. And so if right now you're like that, like I would like to simplify, I'd like to buy less, but it just feels hard right now, just keep going down this path of simplifying your house, and it really does retrain your brain, and it makes it so that none of this feels hard anymore. Like, it just feels natural, and if anything, it feels weird that other people buy all this stuff still, right? And so if you're hoping to simplify your house further, we would love to help you. I love sharing tips and tricks to help you, and so it can go quickly, and to help you over the roadblocks and the hangups, because it truly is one of the most worthwhile things that we've ever done. And I try to say that like I'm aware I've just been talking about like marketing and gimmicks and like, now try minimalism, it'll change your life. But truly, it is like, how do I say this now? It will change your life. And I love reading the comments of people that say that you've been doing it and it's been life-changing for you too. So it's not a gimmick, it's not a sale thing, but I would love to spend more time with you and help you too. So if you haven't done so already, we hope you subscribe. A thumbs up is the best compliment that you can give us. You can even share this with a friend too, if you wanted to. But we love you, we hope you have a really good day, and we will visit with you again soon.